Hello guys, we're ranking every single dino and nug as of the AURASAUR update, so let's check it out. Number 1, we have the one, the only, the Newbiesaurus. Oh my goodness, this dude is so cute. He's the first dino you ever get a nug. He will almost guaranteed be the first dino you have a nug, unless if you're like me and have got the Raptor first. Yes, he's a hunter, so I have both the mount driver and the rider saddle. So I'm actually gonna give him a pretty solid A tier on my ranking. And my second dino that goes on this list. We're going by Dino Dex order. We got the dino who's in shop right now, the Razor Claw. I don't have a saddle for this guy since I don't have the bones, but I do have 5k, but I'm just not willing to spend them right now. So this Razor Claw is pretty good. He's the dude from the tutorial. It's not the exact color, but I do have pretty great color, pretty close color to the tutorial. He's not that good. He's like basically like almost a stat. He's like only one step better than the newbie. Look at this, size 2, Newbiesaurus size 1, basically everything else. Yeah, but that brings him down by a bit. I'm gonna give him a B tier. A B tier since I kind of like the Razor Claw decently. No smoothing. I don't really like smoothing. And then the third dino is everybody, the Huz. This is what the Huz gets. The Chathodon. Fun fact, I actually have 2 Chathodons with the exact same color. Look, I have 2 Chathodons with the same exact color. That is insane. This dude is like so chunky. And yeah, he looks so angry and looks so tough. Yeah, he's still a pretty OG dino. That little thing, like, this actually makes it look like a bird. Just without the teeth. Look, this kind of looks like a bird if you remove the teeth. So, yeah. That brings him some points. I'm gonna give him A tier dino. So, yeah. Our third dino is my first bundle I bought, but not the dino. The Chomposaurus. I don't know why this dude is like so freaking tiny, but here it is. It's only level 1. See, this is my hand. I'm not even like doing anything. This is like what it looks like in first person. See? So tiny. Even though I'm making this look like a giant, the cool name despises this dino. That drops him because cool name's my bestie, one of my besties. I'm gonna give him a B tier, since it is my bundle. But cool name despises him even though it is my bundle. It is my main bundle. I make cosmetics, etc. Our next dino is my first ever dino, the Raptor. I got some pretty good armor on him. So yeah, we got the Raptor. We got some drip on this dude. Like, look how much drip that is. So, he is an extremely fast dino. I'll even show you. Look, I'm gonna go to the Triceratops and how fast. Let's see. That might be record time for, not be record. I don't think that is record time. But yeah, he is pretty darn fast. But another dino we're coming up is gonna be even faster. I am gonna give him an A tier. An A tier. Since there is an S tier dino. There's a few S tier dinos we have. And then the King of Ugg. The King of Ugg before the T-Rex. The Megalodon. This dude was like the first non-hunter in the game. Look at this dude. It's the Titan. This is a Titan, and he was only a 2% chance to get. Why are you always moving? I want to get a good position, Mr. Megalodon. Stop! Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna just rage baiting me. How is he doing that? We're trying to get the boneyard. Here we go. Megalodon. This is the first time to get a 2% chance tickets only. And he was the first ever non-hunter in the game, according to the Dino Dex. I'm gonna give him a B tier since he did lose value when the Halloween update came and he became free. So that definitely drops him some. Sorry. But two dinos. We're gonna have a pet 10 first S tier dino. This is not the next dino, but the dino after this. We got the Torknash. The reason I'm doing this is because I have 3 freaking colors of this dude. Please trade me. But we're gonna be pulling out my main Torknash. That is this guy. Look at him. I even have a saddle for this dude. Look how tall he is. Extremely tall. This Torknash, he is the first tank in the Dino Dex. But I'm pretty sure we all know it's the Grugadon. So, yeah, that does do something. Look, Torknash. He's the alpha in the Magma Cave. He was the first tank alpha. First tank alpha, second tank added. I'm gonna give him a solid B tier. We haven't had any C tier dinos. I like Uggs that much. It's characters. Now we got the S tier guy. That is my Triceratops. He was only available for Halloween, and he has pretty darn amazing trade value. He just killed the chicken. That was so extremely tough. Look, even he's breathes fire. Look at this guy. He's such a cool dino, and I got the mother too. His mother's so cool. Stop trying to tail whip me while trying to make a video, buddy. Okay, Triceratops is a really good dino in my opinion. You know what that means? S tier, S tier, S tier. Stop tail whipping me, please. I am your best friend. And now we're dropping some with this guy. Beast Sword. His bundle is really cool in my opinion, but everything else about him, he just looks. This looks like some cartoon character that was meant to be ugly. This is probably the ugly sword before the ugly sword came out. So this is our first T tier because he is kind of slow. Look, watch me. He's not gonna beat the Rapto. Look at this. Yeah, that's not beating a Rapto. I mean, yeah, Rapto is meant to be fast, but see how long this takes to get back. And he is pretty darn slow dino. One of the slowest in the game, personally. Cool Name says it's Chompy, probably because he despises him. This is a C tier dino. Probably like my least favorite dino in the game, probably. I think this might be my least favorite dino in the game. But the only thing really love about him is that his bundle's really cool. Now we got our next tank on this list. That is the Grugadon. Rhymes of Grug. That's right, Grugadon. He's probably based on the Croods character Grug. I love the memes. And he's the alpha and the cow guy. He's one of the cow alphas in the new map. I'm gonna give him a B tier since he is really happy. And look, I'm like my favorite tank. Besides another one that is coming up soon. Now, our next dino on this list must be the Koopa Troopa. Must be a Koopa Troopa wannabe. The Sheldon! Look at this dude. He was on shop when the Pre-Sure Flaptor came. He was one of the dinos I needed. It's like one of the only like OG dinos I bought from the shop. Like, why did you move the camera like that? So, I'm gonna give him some extra points for that. He gets a C tier since I really like forget about this dude. I forget this dude exists, in my opinion. So yeah. next dino is the second fusion added to the game. It's the Skelemagmon. That's right. The second fusion in the entire game is a freaking Super Titan. That's right. When a Super Titan is when two Titans are fused together. Look, must be the best dino in the game. Until this was like one of my favorite dinos, and is like the best dino in the game before the flying dinos. I'm gonna give him an S. No, not an S. Yeah, S tier. Just because he's so, like, he's a Super Titan. He's so unique. And then the next one, got some drama. The Mammoth. Yeah, this dude got some explaining to do. How are you duped? Yep, that's right. Back when Skelemag came out, people were duping this thing like crazy. And all of them got removed when the Mammoth actually came out. Why are you looking at a chicken? You're supposed to look at the camera. Oh my goodness, he's trying to go kill a chicken. This Mammoth floor. Yep, Mammoth floor. I had to record, ended for some reason, but yes, he was indeed duped at the Skelemagmon update. So, just for that, I'm gonna give him a little downgrade him to B tier, since I used to love this guy. I used to love Mammoths. Like, remember many from that Ice Age. And now next one is the AURASAUR, a fusion between the dupe dino and Coolname's least favorite dino in the game. He looks so cool though. Look at this. Hi. This might be my favorite fusion. No, probably not my favorite. Probably my favorite fusion of the. Yeah, I don't know why I did that again, but Big Bertha, he had to spawn. Now we are doing this. I'm gonna give him a A tier just because he looks so cool, in my opinion. You know, that's good. Good ranking. I know. We got pretty sure it's an OG guy. It's just ranked right before Tyrannosaur. The Gertiesaur. That's right, the Gertie. I really forgot about him until recently. When I was thinking about alphas at school. I was at school thinking about a potential Gertiesaur alpha and a Mammoth alpha. And a Dilophosaurus alpha, which I'll get to later. I'm just gonna give him a C tier just because I forget about him. I like that it's like part of my second favorite fusion in the game. The other ingredient is the Tyrannosaur. Yep, that's right. He was my second bundle I ever bought and my first ever permanent bundle stay. So, this Tyrannosaur is so awesome. Look at this. He's the king of all dinos. He took away Megalodon for that spot in UG. So, I'm gonna give him an S tier. That's right, Tyrannosaur. You're the next. Actually, sorry for misleading you. You're actually an A tier. Just since we got the fusion, which is really awesome. Just watch. It's the one and only Gertie-Rex. A fusion between the dinos we just ranked earlier. And it's the fast. Coolname says it's faster than the Raptor. Let's check that out. Yep, he is quite faster. Whee! Boop. Boop. Boom. I think you might have messed with the camera, but you can see how this is good. This is an S tier just because of how fast it is and how cool this thing looks. I got like a color I don't really like that much, but I don't care. It's still level 23. Yep, I got an S tier. And the next dino was the dino I was so desperate to get, I had to trade a Flapdoor and a Megalodon egg to get both eggs. The Handsome Saur. Oh my goodness, he is so handsome. Look at this dude. In reality, he is pretty ugly. He's meant to be ugly. But look, he can reach so far. Look at this. He can reach so far. But that's like what I used to hate this dinosaur when this came out, but because I just realized he looks so cute and it has a Halloween color, which is my favorite holiday, this goes into an S tier. Just because of that. That's right, he got a redemption arc, guys. And now our next dino is the only other limited time Titan. That is Sir Crydon. He's so big, and I was so desperate to get him before finally when the Uglytoe came out. I traded my Uglytoe for this. Not this color, but for Crydon. Look at this guy. He is so amazing. He hasn't been in a Super Titan yet. He can make it to a Flapdoor. He can fuse with a Flapdoor to get a fusion, though. I'm gonna give an A tier just because he's that amazing. I've only got 3 C tier dinos. Those were all pigs. No, I'm Beastosaur. And then this one must be my first favorite fusion in the game. The Uglytoe. This is my favorite fusion of all time. Because look, he's combined my 2 favorite dinos. My 2 top dinos together. Look, Uglysaur and the Rapto. He does look ugly, but that's what I love about it. Look, this looks like Astro from Danny's World. I don't think he's fast as Rapto, but look, he can still make it pretty fast. He is still pretty darn fast. Whee! And now I'm gonna back to my camera. I'm gonna give this dude an S tier, just because of how derpy he looks. Dapper, even though he's really ugly. And then our next dino is probably the forgotten one that I kind of like. The Chilodon. This must be the most forgotten dinos in recent memory, since he is really just a generic hunter. And he's not based on everything, he's just a Christmas guy. But he is a bundle dino. I got the bundle color, he's the only Chilodon I ever had and will only ever have. Unless I got traded something good. But, yep. Chilodon, he gets a B tier just because of how cool he looks. And I feel like he's decently fast actually. No, he's kind of like normal speed. I used to think he's kind of fast for a while, actually. Don't know where my camera's at. Guess I'm just gonna do this. But yeah. Yep. And then our next dino was the best dino at it in a long time. The very needed Swoop Jaw. Look at this dude! It's the first ever dino that can fly! But he has the worst health in the game. Because of how he flies. Look, you can literally like go to the top map barrier in like a few seconds. Look at that. Look at that. You're at the barrier. But I do not really like this dino that much. Even though he is people just are so desperate for him. Cause he flies. Gonna give the Swoop Jaw. Pretty nice. A tier. B tier. No, actually B tier since I don't really kind of like that guy that much because my favorite dino scene in the whole entire game is here. The Pterodactyl! Are we gonna be recording after this dino? This is immediate S tier. Look how good he looks. He looks so awesome. Look at this. He can also fly. Pretty sure he's pretty faster too. Basically Swoop Jaw. He's basically Swoop Jaw though. It's just that he's the most famous dino in the world and he was gonna be a Titan before he was easy to get. So, yeah. S tier. I just heard Flapdoor spawn and coincidentally... Hold on, let me get my Pterodactyl some pets because he's the best dino in the game. He's the first dino on the second page. Sire. We got the Sir Flapdoor. That's right. Flapdoor is a pretty good... Flapdoor is like the first and only flying titan. It's probably gonna be the only flying titan. Look at this dude. He's basically just a Swoop Jaw 2.0 though, so that gives him less points. But he's still an A tier since he's a titan and he flies. And then the next dino. Probably like one of the most forgotten dinos. And in 2026. That is the Dilophosaurus. I don't really remember this video that video that much where I made. But I do have the bundle guy. Look, he has the frills, so that automatically ups him a tier. If he wasn't like that, that would probably been a B tier, but now he's A tier. because of the frills. He was gonna be a C tier before, without the frills. Without the frills, he would have been C tier. But the next dino is not so lucky. We got the only fusion of 2026, the Swoop Claw. Look how poorly he flies. He does have 1600 health, that's the only good thing about him. But look how much he flies. He can barely fly at all. Like he can barely dive too. He can barely dive. Now I'm giving him a B tier. I'm gonna give him a C tier actually. His flying is like really dookie. His flying is really dookie. But to end it all off, we got the first ever, the only community-made dinosaur. That is the AURASAUR. I'm probably gonna make a mini ranking on like the next dino that comes out. But look, the AURASAUR, he looks so beautiful. Look, it's a tank. He's like my favorite tank in the game. I forgot about him. Ugly Saur barely beats him. Look at this AURASAUR. Is he going by a chicken? Just to kill it? Where's he going? He looks so cool. He's like first community-made dinosaur. He actually came out like he actually came out way earlier than he was supposed to. Yum Yum said it was meant to take a week, but no, it actually took like 12 hours. I'm giving him an S tier. To end it off, this amazing video. That's gonna be it to today's video. But also, Windows says you have to like and subscribe to Always Micro to now. If you want more videos like these. That's right. I didn't buy Bundle Pterodactyl, but I still have it.